What is up, my pigs?
Yeah, she did it.
Oh my goodness, that is... I don't even know what my face looks like when we're doing that. It might look terrifying.
It's supposed to not look okay.
Well, I know it doesn't look okay, but...
We're making a very gross noise.
Our show
with
is called
face.
Slop Trough.
That's not a gross noise. I didn't do the good one. Can we do it again?
Yes.
Okay, ready?
What's up, my pigs? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know that's what the good one meant. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 3. We have done this 3 weeks in a row, and we didn't even know that we were going to do it 3 weeks in a row.
No,
so,
and maybe we won't next week. We're going to keep threatening to not do it 1 week.
We can take the show away. We can shut this down.
This episode of 90 Day was too good. We had to talk about it.
Good. And I saw a couple of people who said it was boring, and I was like, were we watching the same show?
Maybe it's boring because they don't have the personal connection, but that's a good reason to tune into us because I'm from St. George. So Kalani and Asuelu's stuff, I know a lot.
You have a lot of intel this week in particular, so let's just jump right in and start. They're my first couple on the list this week, so why don't we just jump in and start? Let's
also welcome first our returning guest, young Franklin here.
Frank the Tank is here.
Frank is in the building, and he's in a ripe mood. He wants to bite my fingies, and he wants to take me out. He's not a fan. So we're going to try to make it work with him.
Apologies in advance if you hear any squawking from Patrick or Frank.
Yep. Or if we just have to be like, just get out of the way, Frank. Hey, no more.
Lay down, buddy.
No more.
Okay.
He'll lay down if the finger's in his mouth. But anyway.
Anyway, let's move on. Kalani and Asuelu, would you like to start, or do you want me to do a brief intro to where they are?
I don't know. What do you think? Do we need to have, like, segments before we get into meats of things?
What do you mean?
Well, like, I don't know. It's like sex. Do you like Kalani and Asuelu, right? Do you want to go straight to the double dildo?
Okay.
that they have, or do you want to maybe start small and go for like as Asuelu puts it, a cock and ball ring goes on cock and goes on balls well.
Well, since you've used the words double dildo and cock and balls, why don't we just dive into the meat of the issue and say Kalani and Asuelu went to a sex shop? Patrick, you have a personal experience with this sex shop.
That's a horrible way to do this. That's a horrible way to do this. They went to a sex shop. Patrick, you've been to a sex shop. You've done the things with the sex.
I didn't say that.
Tell the people about how your experience was.
I said that you immediately recognized this store.
Because it's my real reason is not as good either.
Okay.
Okay, so you're about to get me in trouble with my family if they listen to this.
Okay.
Sometimes I go to smoke shops in St. George when I'm visiting family.
Sure.
No reason.
Sure.
I like the look and the smell.
Yeah.
Incense are cool, you know.
Yeah, obviously.
It's fun to look at all the cool stuff that people make in the glassware and stuff. So, you know, I didn't realize that the smoke shop that I went to turns out to be the one that Asuelu and Kalani go to. This also has a X-rated back room for like sex toys and things that I did not know existed until we saw this episode. And that's kind of their whole thing in this episode is they want to go on a family outing, which is a getaway for them plus the mom and the kids. Yeah, because they have to have the kids. She's still breastfeeding, so they have to bring the kids, and so her mom is coming to watch the kids. So Asuelu's still sharing. Yeah. Yeah. But before they go, they wanted to get some stuff, so they went to the place. And it was really awkward. Like, they went into the store, and they're like, we're here in the only sex shop in Utah, in southern Utah. And it was, like, they were making a big deal of it. But it's like, you live an hour and a half away from Vegas. Right. You live a half hour away from Mesquite. They don't need a sex shop right there. That's the reason. If you've been to St. George or you know anything about St. George, it is full of old people with expensive cars, and they've quickly been trying to take over as being the worst, Florida type part of Utah. And Asuelu and Kalani kind of show it by being so stupid, walking and be like, what is this? Ooh. And it was just really cringy and but it was also really funny at the same time, to me at least, just how ridiculous they were being and how they were picking up every single thing and being like, ooh, this is really big. What does this do? And I feel like it might have been production prodded a little bit too. Production might have told them, pick out some different things that look crazy and
and talk about them. You know, I could see TLC production.
I don't think they needed to tell Asuelu what to do.
Probably not.
Asuelu led the charge in what he wanted to do.
He used the term donuts.
Tits. He said tits a lot. And it's all censored, but you can see their mouth moving. So
but
you know what they're doing.
The term donuts for
Frank moved when I said tits.
Testicles.
Oh, boy.
Was very interesting to me. I've never heard this term before. Is it a common one?
Of what?
Donuts.
Sure.
Okay.
There's so many like, here's the thing. Women don't give, well, it's different now, but back in the day, I don't think women gave their private parts tons of names. Okay. Like in a fun way, you know, because women were taught to be ashamed of their body parts. But with men, it was like, don't masturbate. Or like give you a little chuckle nudge. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, grab your Peter. Or like speaking. I heard most different words for my penis when it was like related to sports stuff. Yeah. Interesting. Well, speaking of masturbating, we learned something really interesting. What is happening this episode? What are we doing? We learned something interesting this episode, something that you told me to write down so that we didn't forget. So I wrote it down, and every time... Why does it keep going back to me? And every time I open the notes app of my phone, I see this note, and it terrifies me. Okay. What we learned from this episode is Asuelu does not believe in masturbation. No. So... now we find out, here's the thing, we found out why he's so angry all the time. Well, it's not that he's angry. I'm joking. He's not, I know he's not angry, but he very much thinks that the duty of that stuff belongs to the wife. Well, it's, something that he has to do. He believes that it is only, you want to get the ghost out by someone else? I don't think he says that. But. I don't think so either. But, yeah, so we learned that. So they, anyway, moving on. So they go to a sex shop, they buy some stuff. They're really into a whip, we learned. They're very into hitting each other. But so they go to their vacation spot and they get to these, and they're a little bit run down. They're these like cabins in, I don't know what part of southern Utah they're in, but they're these like cabin areas, and each one's like kind of a private cabin that has like a couple of rooms and a kitchen and blah, blah, blah. And Kalani and her mom immediately start talking about how gross it is and how like it reminds her of going to girls' camp and blah, 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 which if you're Mormon and you went to girls' camp, you know that you were lucky if you got to stay in a cabin. Yeah, well, they were living most of the time you were in a garbage tent and... Yeah. You're talking louder than when we were testing it. I just realized. I'm sorry. No, it's just talking. This is the way that I wanted you to talk then, but you were like, test one. Well, it's hard. It's hard when I'm not fired up. Maybe that much. Careful for your peas. Oh. The peas pop. Yeah, I've heard that's a thing. No worries. Anyway. That was awkward. Awkward cut. We got two cuts. Frankel. So they are immediately like, they're like wiping down counters and wiping down cabinet doors and all of this stuff, which to me was just overkill. Like, it's like, you can... Well, for them to not show up with masks sometime to stuff and then try to pretend like feign that they're trying to clean things. That's been bugging me too with this thing, because last season in the tell-all, they made a big deal out of like, Asuelu's not taking the pandemic seriously, and so we sent him to live in Washington with his family because we didn't want him here. But then they're like going into places maskless, but sometimes they're wearing masks and sometimes they're not, and it's just like, do you really care that much, or are you just looking for any reason possible to be mad at your husband? Yeah, because that's what it feels like. And if that's the thing, like, own it. Like, just be like, I don't like him and I don't want to be with him. But that's instead they're like nitpicking the place and how it looks and how she would have preferred to go to a resort, which, did you really think, like, what resorts are in Utah? It's all cabins. It's Zion. All like outdoor cabin type. Let me explain resorts. Where they're at. Okay. They're in Zion. So it is a resort. Like, there are places that you can go to there. Oh, okay. But they chose probably a camping site that has cabins and stuff. Well, it's probably a cheaper one too. Nothing's cheap in Zion. Oh, really? Like, yeah, it's a national park. It's all. I don't fucking know. Well, you're assuming. Let me tell you. Okay. Zion is expensive. Okay. That's why I never went, and I would just hike a rock in the backyard. So it is stuff to it. Okay. And I'm sure 90 Day paid for it. But what bugged me most is that Kalani wanted this to be such a big thing for her and building her relationship, but she brings her mom. She complains immediately about everything, and we realize that they picked separate places because he refuses to sleep next to the mom because he told the motel people. No boom boom next to the
what did he say? Like when
I don't want my
rock and roll or something.
The rock and the rollin' or something like that. So yeah, he gets his own place, but he has decked the place out and has covered it with flowers and has like made everything look really nice for her. And she barely even notices it. Like she's just like, oh, that's so sweet. And then nothing. And that to me tells me that like none of it was really for her. Like, and she never wanted it to begin with, you know?
It
feels either staged, like she's just a bad actress about it. Because the more fun that she had was just saying dirty words. Because there's pretty much a 5-minute spell of them just saying whatever filthy thing they could say. Sex. But then when it cuts to, like, them actually going for it, she immediately wants to start drinking. Immediately is like, I don't even care about all the stuff you're doing. Let's just start drinking straight from the bottle, which no judgment there. I mean, that's fine.
Oh yeah, we have passed around many a bottle.
She doesn't care about what he's doing. And the guy is simple. So when he does something, you best make sure to reward him like what you have to do with Frank.
Yep, you reinforce the behaviors you want to see more of.
Exactly. But she didn't do that. And so now he's still like, I don't get what I can do at this point.
Yeah, it almost feels like with them, and to be like, I am not like I can 100% acknowledge that like Asuelu has fucked up things in this relationship. Like he has made mistakes. He is not a perfect husband. I don't think he's a perfect person. Absolutely not. But I feel a lot of frustration toward her because it feels like she wants him to fail so that she can continue to be a victim.
Well, she's trying to manipulate how it looks on camera.
Yeah. Like she wants to play up the narrative of him being a fuck up so that
But the editors aren't letting that happen, it seems.
Yeah, so that she can come in and be the responsible one, the mature one, the smart one, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just kind of frustrating to watch because it's like it seems like you don't actually, like you're saying you want him to do these things and he does these things and then you're still unhappy. And it's, once again, it's like maybe you just need to not be together. Like maybe you guys just aren't it.
They're probably one of the weakest couples. Not as weak as Mike and Natalie, though.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's move into this.
So Natalie has locked herself in the truck, and she refuses to come out. And I think it's been 5 days.
And refuses to talk to anyone.
Mainly because the mom is being a dick, and she very clearly is. And now Mike is turned into this kind of like pseudo mama's boy, and is like almost in a weird way. He's almost in the same way that a schoolyard bully has said that his mom doesn't make the same chicken pot pie that his mom does. I don't know what they did back in. It seems. Where's he from?
I think I don't know if he's originally from Washington or I think he grew up in
where they live right now.
It's called Squim, and it's like a little it's a small town.
Down here, Squim.
Yeah, it's like a small town in
we take our
Washington.
chicky pot pies very seriously. You know
I think it's like 3 hours.
We take our chicky pot pies seriously, and Mike was insulting his mother's cheeky pot pies. And that's what happened. And so he's like, "You're threatening my mother, you cheeky pot pie," and was like kicking the car, and was like, "Why are you mad?" And Natalie's like, I don't even want to tell you what happened. I cannot tell you. What did
she say?
Well, she's accusing the mom of calling her a hooker.
Yes.
She never said that once from what we've seen on camera.
If it was
whether
picked
they're
up on
saving
camera,
it for the tell-all. No, they could be saving it for the tell-all. They could very well be saving it. And Mike is just being. That's really all there is to that. They don't do much else with that.
She's pouting in the car. Mike and his mom are mad, and then they go to the airport and head home. At the very end of the episode, it shows them getting to the airport and leaving.
Oh, she actually.
They do leave, yeah.
Oh, but it's not her getting sent
But she's
home.
still like being pouty and not talking to anyone, and it's a whole thing. And like, yeah, they're both just so insufferable.
Kind of.
Like, there's nothing redeeming about either of them, and
I miss the old 90 Day when like the couples were couples and not like actors.
I feel that way too with a lot of it. It feels really staged in a lot of instances, and like it's always been staged to an extent. Like I know that when they do these shows, they kind of set people up and say like, we want you to talk about this in this place, but like it feels extra staged now a lot of the time. But anyway, what do you think about Julia and Brandon? Let's move on to them. How staged do you think their stuff is?
Brandon can't act out of a paper bag, so it's fairly staged.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to this last one, when it's the unplanned wedding party that ends up happening. And this mom loves cake.
She was very Yes. So basically what happens is Julie and Brandon...
You be them and I be the mom. How about this?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I be the mom, okay?
Okay.
Brandon and Julia, I'm so glad they're here. And it's just because we didn't get to do a wedding, we brought this cake and we're going to have a wedding. And it's so great. We brought everyone here.
But Mom, we told you we didn't want a celebration. We told you we didn't want a celebration. We wanted this just to just be Dad's birthday.
Why are you against me?
We just asked you not to do this, and you didn't respect our boundaries.
Why are you against me?
We're leaving.
I think that Julia is turning Brandon against us.
Yeah, that's basically...
Do you want to have a conversation about that, Brandon? Do you want to have a conversation about... Do you want to... Like that scene. Then that quickly escalated and got crazy. Frank is not satisfied.
Oh, he doesn't like us yelling.
No, so that's pretty much all that. It really focused on Kalani and Asuelu in this, didn't it?
Julie and Brandon's section does though end with them saying that they are planning on moving out.
Yes.
Now that Julia can work and they can
Frank
hopefully start figuring things out money-wise. But yeah, it got pretty intense. Like, it got pretty heated with the parents. And I was honestly, like, up until this episode, I've been thinking, like, oh, his parents seem like they're kind of giving them some more space and, like, they're kind of backing off. And then this episode happened, and I was like, oh, no, they're not. Never mind.
Well, they back off to get back on.
They were just saving up for the cake. They were just making the cake this whole time.
She really was upset about the cake.
Yeah, she was like, I got you a cake, but there's a cake here.
So you're upset about the cake. That's the problem. No, it's not the cake.
It's not the cake, lady.
Enough about the cake.
Okay.
It's like the champagne thing within the Heights. It's like, enough about the champagne.
We get it. You have champagne.
So you didn't like my cake. So Tiffany and Ronald, it's very short again.
Yeah, there's not a lot with them.
It's just her saying, I don't want to go. And Ronald being like, we should really go, because it gets revealed the borders opened.
The borders have opened, and so Ronald wants them to come and visit him in South Africa. And so they're planning a trip, and her thing is, I'm going to go there and test him to see if I think he can be a good dad to my kids if he comes to the States. And which I don't like tests in relationships. Like, I don't like feeling like I'm being tested or like I'm being watched. Like, just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. And vice versa. Like, if I have a problem with something, I will just tell you, and that's like, we have a better relationship than Tiffany and Ronald.
Hopefully.
But like,
why would you think we didn't? That's not good.
Well, you never know. But I don't know what that means.
Moving on to the next person. What that means.
But
Angela
anyway,
Angela and Michael. How dare you start comparing our relationship? I'm ending that.
Okay.
Okay, Angela and Michael.
Angela's getting surgery and she's losing weight.
She's lost 40 pounds on each breast, and she's very excited for that. And the doctor is she's still smoking. Can I rail in on this bitch?
Go for it.
Angela's the worst person on this show. And I'll tell you why. Number one, she's not seen a problem with her behavior from day one.
She is
I don't
not
think she's
changed
ever
at all.
seen a problem with her behavior, and she's been here for quite a while. Number two, she is a huge role model disappointment when it comes to all of this like weight loss stuff. We were talking about, of course, and we don't really know this because we've not like gone through the process, but we know people that have gone through the process and have listened to people who've gone through it. The process is tough. And the process requires you to, even in some cases, have lost weight beforehand. You've had to prove to yourself that you can do things. If you're smoking, that you don't fucking smoke,
have not smoked
that you're done.
For a long time leading up to the surgery, because it's dangerous to go into a surgery as a smoker.
But Angela has not had any regard for her health or concern for her own safety for this. It's all been about just how do I make myself look good and not do any work. So she's still smoking, and that's when the doctor is again. It's sad because they keep saying we're really upset with you, and she's like, how do you think I feel? It's like, you should feel like garbage, but you don't sound like you feel like garbage.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So I'll say two things. So first, about the smoking. I sympathize. Like, I understand that it's really hard to quit smoking when you've smoked for a long time.
And you don't want to quit. Because she doesn't want to quit. That was the problem. She didn't want to.
Exactly.
And they showed that because she didn't try anything until just then.
But they're being very irresponsible on this show by showing her smoking when she's leading up to the surgery and in recovery. That's very irresponsible, I think, on her part and on TLC's part, to be kind of building this up as her storyline, essentially. And my second point is it's really frustrating to see her talk about, because every time she talks to Michael and he's like frustrated by her doing these procedures and doing these things, whenever he expresses that, she goes, "You just don't care about my health. You just want me to look good, blah, blah, blah. You just want me to look the way I used to look." And so she's getting mad at him for not caring about her health, but then she's acting in ways that are also not supportive of her health, because weight loss can be good for your health, yes, but like if you're losing weight but you're still smoking and doing all these other things, like that's only one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And so it's frustrating to see that and see her constantly berating Michael for not caring about her health, which I think he does.
Well, what else can he do when he's seeing how much money she's spending on this?
Exactly. And I think that's a really hard thing for him to see. And we even saw that last week when he was talking to his family and just saying, like, because it doesn't compute. Like, once again, we've got like a cultural thing where it's just like the idea of spending tens of thousands of dollars on your appearance just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so this segment, so we go on, so the doctors go after her again and say, you need to quit smoking, especially if you want to be doing more surgeries. And so then she ends up going to a hypnotherapist to get that hypnotherapy done so that she can quit smoking. And I know some people do like legitimately quit smoking after they do this process. Like it's not like carnival hypnotism where they're like dangling the thing in front of you. But so we'll see if it sticks. Who's to say? But that's basically her whole segment once again. I don't think, did we even see Michael in this episode? I don't know if we did.
No, just a callback to him.
Yeah.
But who knows if he even wants to be on it right now. He's kind of annoyed. There's no Jovi and Yara in this.
Yeah, it seems like, I think we're going to see them next week. But it's, I wish, I have a slight frustration with 90 Day right now. And it's that, and I understand it's COVID and they have different situations, like I get that, but it's frustrating when like half of the couples on this show are communicating with each other through a screen. Like when we're just watching their FaceTime calls, like that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
As a viewer, like I kind of wish they had picked couples that are already together for this season so that they wouldn't have to do so much back and forth like this, because it's just hard. Like you don't get the same interaction with a FaceTime call as you do face to face.
I think I'm done with 90 Day talk for like a full episode.
Luckily,
after realizing just how boring and basic these people are, I think we've caught up enough for people to get where we're going with it.
And luckily, next week, Love After Lockup comes back. So we get to talk about a different type of trash.
Well, not for the whole episode. I think we keep this in and we split it now.
Sure.
So now we go, because honestly, I think we could just cut out like Yara and Jovi forever, and like Tiffany and Ronald. I don't think I ever need to.
I'd be
say
happy not
to
talking about them again.
I think our viewers might appreciate us being like, you know what? We're not going to give you that pillow talk of this. We're going to give you, here's what you need to know if you want to like catch up moving forward, and that's it. And we can talk shit on the stupid stuff like Angela.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm happy
Love After Lockup, garbage stuff. You've set us up so well with introducing all of these people, though. Thank you for doing all of these episodes.
Of course. Do you want to do a quick palate cleanse where we can vent some more frustrations? But switch gears slightly.
Okay.
So I really wanted to introduce this segment because I just think it's funny. I think the name is funny. So the name of this segment is Bitch Eating Crackers.
Oh.
Have you heard this phrase before?
No.
Okay, let me explain. So,
you see me light up by that?
A bitch eating crackers is a person, male or female, any gender, doesn't matter.
Eating crackers?
No. It is someone who...
Eating some cheddar biscuits. Anything
that they do, even something as simple as eating crackers, annoys you. So it's someone who just like anything they do, it's just like, oh, why are they doing that? They're so dumb, you know?
Bitch eating crackers.
So... of the 90 Day universe, the entire universe, not just this season of Happily Ever After, who is your bitch eating crackers? Who is the person that always annoys you no matter what? Even if they're like technically right, you still hate them.
What's tough is those people have probably already been out of my head. Like I don't know them.
That's fair. Do you want me to give mine and you can think about it for a second?
And you have to do, because I don't know names either.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can give me lists and I can pick out of your lists.
Okay, well, I'll give mine and maybe that'll jog your memory a little bit. So, my first one, because so here's the thing about me, in case you didn't know. 97% of people on the planet irritate me for one reason or another. If I know you, you probably irritate me. If I don't know you, you definitely irritate me. So I have a lot of bitches eating crackers in my life. And on my TV screen. But for the 90-day universe, my number one bitch eating crackers, I would have to say, is Devin. Another Utah native.
Yeah.
She was on 2 seasons of 90 Day Fiance the other way. And she is just one of those
Marilyn
people
Manson's
who...
weird
Yeah,
child.
she thinks she's super edgy and cool, and she's just a monster. I think she just treats people terribly. She has a child that she does not control at all, and I guess technically I'm mom shaming, so apologies. I understand that being a mom is very hard. That's why I'm not one. But she just drives me nuts. And her social media, she filters her face like nobody's business. And it's we have seen you on the show. We know what you look like.
Yeah.
And so when she puts up all these weird ass filters,
Angela's
it's you're not tricking
lately.
anyone. Yeah. All these people, I don't get it. It's we have seen you.
I think it's so funny that, isn't it ironic that Angela has spent over $100,000 probably on all of this stuff.
Oh, well over.
Yet still will hit a filter.
It's still filtering.
We'll still pay for a free filter. And maybe that's all she needed was just a filter.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Mine,
ridiculous.
okay, then mine is Paul with Paul and Karini. Because we were just talking about Paul starting an OnlyFans. Can you tell the people what the fuck that is?
Paul and his wife Karini. Karini is from Brazil. They together have
Why did you pay for it?
I didn't pay for it.
I checked our bank statement and I saw.
I have not paid for a single OnlyFans subscription.
She's downloading them too.
I need that to be clear.
She keeps commenting.
Have I looked at pictures that have been posted on Reddit?
Let me see
yes.
Paul's poll.
But I have not.
Let me see Paul's poll. She keeps sending it to people.
Oh my god. Why is Paul your bitch eating crackers?
Well, because he's horrible and I think he's abusing people.
He is abusive.
So
we've heard stories.
A legit bad person.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I would like
everyone
to make
else.
this.
I can't remember their names.
I would like to make this maybe not a weekly segment, but a recurring theme when we go into different shows.
I'm okay with that
because I love talking about people who annoy me. So that's partly why we have this show, is so that I can just complain about reality stars. And
Love After Lockup will be fun for that because it's not only fun to complain about them, it's fun to set up the situations, because 90-day situations are we went into a sex shop and it was cool, and Love After Lockup is no, they ran their car through a sex shop after trying to stab each other because the mom found out that she wasn't the there's so many other
chaos.
things.
It's pure chaos from start to finish, and it's
sloppiest
great.
Of the trough.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Was there anything else that we have for this episode?
I don't think so. I think we can wrap up. This is a shorter episode. I do want to do a quick recommendation for a show that just wrapped on TLC if you're looking for something to binge. Seeking Sister Wife. There's 3 seasons. The 3rd season just wrapped, and it's polygamous couples looking to add additional wives to their families. So you can already see where this is going. You can already see that this
wonderful.
is chaos. And
I'm down.
It's quite fascinating and
Can we go
funny.
on that show?
It gets a little dark. Do you want to seek a sister wife?
I don't know. I know some people. I know a guy. That's got some we can call and see.
Okay, well, you're from St. George, so
which one we pick?
We know there's plenty of sister wife situations.
Do they have to talk to us,
there.
or can they just help us with clothing and things?
I don't know. We can hammer out the details.
Maybe
later.
I just want a maid.
That seems to be the case with some of these couples, honestly. They have a million kids and they want a live-in nanny that they don't have to pay.
That's what yeah.
But it's pretty funny. It's pretty interesting. It can get a little bit dark. I will give that warning ahead of time, but I like it. It's a shit show. Nice. So if you want something trashy that you can binge 3 seasons of, it's a good one.
Well, and check everything out on the Gaggle of Geeks page, of course. And sorry that I'm a little low energy today. It's been
a busy. You're doing the Tribeca Film Festival and stuff. There's a lot going on there, so that's okay.
But new mics, new setup, and we're gonna go into some crazier stuff.
Yeah, things are about to get fun.
Yeah.
Fun and crazy.
Well, until then, peace out, my piggies.